We had another beheading video from ISIS, Steven Sotloff, who is an American journalist.
Have yet again, through your actions, killed yet another American citizen. So just as your missiles continue to strike our people, our knife will continue to strike the necks of your people. Because of your insistence in continuing your bombings in Al-Murli, Zumar and the Mosul Dam, despite our serious warnings. You, Obama, have yet again, through your actions, killed yet another American citizen. So just as your missiles continue to strike our people, our knife will continue to strike the neck.
Okay, so we obviously didn't show the beheading itself there. YouTube's taking the videos down. Twitter is banning people that post it. But I wanted to at least get you guys the message on that. This, of course, comes about 2 weeks after they did the same exact things to James Foley, another American photojournalist. And supposedly now they have a British journalist that they plan on doing this to. And apparently there's about 20 other people that they have being held hostage right now. I mean, we've been doing this every week now. You've been tweeting a lot about this, just this sort of savagery that we're seeing. How do we make any sense of what's going on over there?
This is the way I've been thinking about it lately. I mean, it's horrific, and it stopped me in my tracks. And even when the video came up in the studio here, I don't even want to see the whole situation. Trigger warning, you know, all that kind of stuff. And this is going to tie into a future topic we've got going today. Okay. But basically, this shit's been going on a long fucking time. And the fact that we
cussing on this show?
Oh yeah, you can cuss. When it comes to beheading, you can cuss.
And the way we now have it videotape and high production value, I want to add, that's kind of the creepiest part of all of this. But this has been going on in humanity for tens of thousands of years, or at least, I don't know, but at least a couple of thousands of years with civilization and war and empires and all that. So it's horrific and it's insane, and yet welcome to the human species. I don't know what to say. It's just it's just so much for me.
Yeah, so let's just talk about the video themselves. Do we have to show these things? Because, you know, when Twitter banned all the people for putting up the video, I kind of think you have to have access to it so we know what's going on. Of course, you don't want to push out their propaganda and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But what do you think about just showing the videos themselves? Because some people do want to see the part that we didn't show there.
I would never want to see the part that they didn't show. I mean, I have enough imagination left to fill in that horrific blank.
Hello?
Yeah.
But I think you have to have access to, you know, it has to be some form of a free media. You have to show these things to educate and inform.
Yeah, so that's a great point. So you show it in a situation where you are educating and informing, but just having it loose on the internet for and bless you, YouTuber commenters, for YouTuber commenters to talk about, you know, how gay he is and sucking his dick or something. I don't know. That worries me. You know, people using it to discuss geopolitical situations, terrorism, trauma, whatever it is. Yeah, sure, but I don't know. I don't think people should be tweeting this shit.
All right, so that being said, let's not get too hung up on the beheadings themselves, but apparently ISIS is actually much bigger than we thought. We've got some interesting info here. So 2 quotes here. The first one is from a security expert in Baghdad. He said, the Islamic State didn't come from nowhere. It's an extension of groups that existed before, historically and ideologically. Okay, that's not major news. The second one here, from a political analyst in Jordan, I thought was the interesting one. The Islamic State's members have multiplied in a very dangerous way. Having plenty of arms and funding has made ISIS swallow the fighters of other Sunni insurgent groups. So basically, they're just combining all these groups that we funded half of them, and the ones that we didn't fund, now they have their weapons. Now they're saying there's about 100,000 of them. 2 weeks ago, they thought there was 40,000 of them. There's tons of British people, like the guy who did the beheading in that video. Is this one of these things where the U.S. is just damned if we do, damned if we don't? If we go in, more people hate us. We don't do anything, more people get killed, but nobody else is going to do anything, so we're just fucked.
Yeah, I think it is in the damned do we. It's almost like trying to invade Coachella. You know,
like where you're going with
or
this.
if you took Coachella and Burning Man and had them attack each other, and then whatever was left over, those people became ISIS.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm actually with you on this.
And I really think that if we think about it in the raw numbers of 100,000, that's where we can target and have a strategy. Like 100,000 people, that's about 750 porta potties to service. So we just look for a caravan of porta potties, bomb the S out of that, in case my kids are watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
But,
S.
They've never heard that word.
You know, seriously, I think that's what we're looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going with, I mean, what do we do? Do we bomb? And now everyone
Yeah,
seems to
no.
be for bombing.
We
You know, no
are-
troops, but just send some bombs.
Look, how did this mess start 12 years ago?
Yeah.
Because we bombed Iraq. That's how this mess started. Look, when you take dictators like Saddam Hussein and Assad in Syria, and people like that who are like really rule with an iron fist, these tribal regions, and you remove them, you get a lot of tribal energy and blood and beheading and shit like that goes on. This, you know, the scary thing is these people have access to money and arms and, you know, things like that now, and bigger things, and hopefully not dirty bombs and shit like that. I'm hoping that the infighting will start, because it always does with these groups.
I'm pretty sure the infighting has started.
Yeah, and the infighting even in the ISIS will start. And then, but also, man, I watched a video, I don't know if anyone saw this, of an Iraqi TV show, they still have them there, believe it or not, with some Arab gentlemen in Arab headdresses. I don't know if that makes, I think that makes them Sunni. And anyway, I'm not an expert in any of this. They were sitting around talking about the Christian community in some of these cities and how they're being targeted. And one of these men in full Arab headdress began weeping for his Christian friends. And I was like, oh, hope. Hope, 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 hope. So there's a lot of humanity left in these countries, a lot of humanity in the population. We need to support those people with ways to combat these bad people. But
so how do you support humanity, right? Like everyone agrees with that, right? That sounds good. We have to support humanity. Humanity is not usually supported by bombs.
It's ugly.
You know, nobody gets their house bombed and things.
There will be
like,
bombing.
You know,
There will be bombing. There will be killing.
Yeah.
What about the rest of the world? Why is it always us? Is it because everyone knows that we're sort of addicted to intervention? Like they know that they don't have to do anything. Like really, England, France, like this is what we do. But doesn't it show?
Superman. We're the Superman country.
But doesn't it show like sort of what a farce the UN and NATO and everything really is? Because at the end of the day, it's about us, whether we like it or not, right?
Well, it's about, I think, whoever has the most toys and the most money.
But that's us.
And the best Doc Martens. I mean, our boots will be on the ground again in that area.
Do you really think so? Supposedly they're sending.
It's gonna have to happen.
Yeah. Well, supposedly this morning Obama sent 350 more troops. That's obviously nothing, but it's something.
Those are CIA guys.
Yeah.
Or they're in charge of finding those porta potties, I would say.
Yeah. All right, so last thought on this, and then we'll move on to some happier stuff. But with all these reports about all this stuff, and now, you know, Rick Perry, not that I like to quote Rick Perry, but he's saying they're coming through the border in Mexico, and today they found this guy in Minnesota.
ISIS is coming through the border?
Yeah, that's what he's saying, and they got this guy in Minnesota who was working for Delta, who apparently left to go fight for ISIS. Oh, yeah. So is something going to happen here? I mean, it's just inevitable, right? Like, it's just inevitable.
It's time to invade Texas if they're coming through Mexico.
Or just annex it off.
And I'm not looking at you, Austin.
Yeah, that's a reverse annex. I think if you give someone, that's reverse of annex.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
No,
the anti-annex.
You want to piss off ISIS? Try to give them Texas. Okay. Yeah, then they'll be pissed.
Yeah. What do you think, though? I mean, it's inevitable? Like something?
Yeah, there's no way they can protect us from every single possible little bit of, I mean, no matter how many shoes they check at the airport. Yeah. I mean, we have to be vigilant, and yet there's too many people, there's too many ways to travel, there's too many forests to climb through. Something will happen, and that's frightening and scary, and it's.
But don't you think there's the parallels from history? I mean, that's one of the things I really respect about you is your ability to remember stuff. And I'm not just talking about what you had for breakfast tomorrow or yesterday. But you know, if you look at the First World War and what happened there with the Huns, you know, with Germany, and then how that set the stage for the sons of that. Yeah. Not unlike we're hearing that it's ex-Ba'athist, Saddam military guys and their sons. When I heard that, I'm like, oh, so this becomes around the communal fire, whether that be a stove or an actual fire. Mm-hmm. It's they're remembering how their days of glory, and they're passing that anger and that desolation and that lack of opportunity to their sons, who are now joining a movement which ended up becoming a Reich in Germany in the 30s. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of parallels that when you decimate a culture and you don't fly over that culture and drop a bunch of Sears and Roebuck catalogs so they can see how to rebuild, what will fill that void is usually anger, vehemence, and
Yeah. Well, as I think I've said every week, we should be dropping PlayStation instead of bombs, and then maybe they'd have something to do. Or porn, or what else?
Sure.
What do people do? Porn, PlayStation. Got anything else with a P? Popcorn?
Popcorn, potato chips.
Potato chips, there you go.
Yeah.
We've solved the Middle East.